It's all part of President Trump's budget making its way through Congress right now. Domestic violence support organizations and ones focused on reducing gun crime. Now in the crosshairs themselves for grant funding cuts totaling in the millions of dollars.
We had to make some difficult choices as an organization. We had to lay some people off. We had to disrupt projects in the midst of projects.
Dr. Monique Williams is Chief Executive Officer of Cure Violence Global, based here in Chicago. She says her organization has already lost $4 million in Department of Justice grant funding for programs aimed at stopping the scourge of gun violence across the country.
So now we're leaving holes and gaps in the systems on the ground that we know are daily doing the crisis work of saving lives. So the only outcome here is less lives are going to be saved.
President and CEO of Wings, Rebecca Darr, citing similar struggles for the largest domestic violence service provider in the state.
The current funding cuts that were included in the budget funds a whole array of services that includes shelter. There's also funding that goes to provide that longer-term housing. And what I think people need to understand is it's that longer-term housing that allows these families to not only be safe, but to get stable.
Darr says if these cuts go through, those critical services for domestic violence survivor clients will have to be slashed.
It is a worst-case scenario for other agencies who rely heavily on federal funding. They'll be shut down. They won't make it. We'll probably most likely have to reduce the number of families we can help, particularly in the housing space.
The White House proposes eliminating nearly 40 DOJ grant programs, amounting to more than $1 billion it says are duplicative, not aligned with the president's priorities, fail to reduce violent crime, or are weaponized against the American people. But advocates say these cuts are about more than money.
That means losing the opportunity to interrupt violence before it happens. And for us, as an organization, but for us as a field, that's the most painful part. So this isn't just a budget line items. These are lives.
Now, House Democrats this week said the budget proposal defunds public safety to the tune of billions of dollars. For a pro-police president, they said, when it comes to investing in law enforcement, this president's actions speak louder than his words. Republicans have said key details of the budget remain outstanding, and ultimately Congress holds the power of the purse. But real questions tonight over how some of these organizations are going to be able to continue the work they're doing with the kind of funding cuts that the president is proposing.
A lot of uncertainty for them, and they're just waiting to see what happens.
Exactly, they are.
Okay, Mark, thank you.